Hey everybody, it's me, Peter. I'm Peter. You're the camera. And today is VEDA Day 28, 27, 28, because I was just watching Nick's VEDA Day 27, talking about his work. That is to say, artistic work, not work. So today for VEDA Day 28, what I would like to talk about is, I'm cheating. I'm taking the topic that I posted on Tumblr where I said, hey, everybody give me your top 5 anything, and I'll answer. I'll give you my top 5 of whatever you ask. And so it was really cool because a bunch of people asked me a bunch of really cool stuff. And so I answered them. However, Millie Grace Stevens, you know who you are, because you seem to be in my videos a disproportionately large amount, asked me what my top 5 education moments were. So either training, school, university, any of that. So from the top, moment number 1, chronologically speaking, that is to say, in 7th grade, I went to a private school from 1st through 7th grade. And, at our school, we had a computer lab. And I loved computers so much that I put on weight because I didn't exercise because I was playing on the computer. But I digress. The number one moment chronologically is in 7th grade, we had a computer lab, and for whatever reason, I guess it was always having issues. And so one day I sat down at home and I wrote up this proposal and I gave it to the computer teacher and my main teacher. And this proposal was to start up a group of student technicians who could go, and whenever the computer teachers would have issues or, maybe class was in session or whatever, they could go to these kids and get them to fix the computers for the teachers who didn't know how to operate technology. And I felt really proud of it because my teachers, they took it and they read it and they took it seriously. Now, as it happens, I didn't go back to that school the next year because of disagreements that I had with management. But it was really cool because I found out after I left, so kind of bittersweet, that the teachers took that proposal and they liked it so much and they ran with it. That's number 1, is this team of little computer elves that run around this little private Catholic school. Moment 2 would probably be, I was not very academic. That's not to say I wasn't smart, I just didn't care. The first semester for me in high school, I failed 2 classes, and then I did the same thing the next semester. So there's 4 years in American high school, by the way. In my freshman year, year 1, I failed 2 classes. I failed 1 class, and then the next one I failed 2 classes. The second year, I failed 2 classes. Well, 2 classes in both semesters. In the third year, the first half of the year, I was failing 3 classes. My GPA was nothing, basically. And I didn't care. And my brothers and, all of my, except for my oldest brother, who was like my inspiration at the time, it was just kind of assumed. I saw how they were going, and they ended up at the alternative school, as they are known, and I just kind of figured that was going to be me. I never really thought that I would fail high school, but I didn't really see myself passing either. And then over winter break, between the first semester and second semester of my third year, my mom passed away, and that was one of those things that just flipped something in my brain and made me realize a bunch of things about life. And so at the end of my third year of high school, at the end of my junior year, I had gone from failing 3 classes to passing all of my classes with A's and B's, which was stellar. And I had never thought that I would be able to do that until it actually happened. That turnaround that I did, because I had a very, very supportive group of adults in my life at the time, one of them being my guidance counselor. Because I did that turnaround, my guidance counselor submitted me for a couple of scholarships for like most improved student in the world, which is really easy to win, by the way, when you're failing like half your classes and then you go to like moderately good grades. I got a scholarship which helped me pay for my first couple years of college, which was great. My third moment, graduating high school. Hands down. Like I said before, there was a time when I didn't see graduating high school as something that was going to happen. And I think there was a lot of, my family didn't really, I think some of the people in my family didn't think that was going to happen, just because that was the track record of my brothers and frankly, my track record at the time. And then it did, and that was an emotional, crazy couple of days. I remember the just immense weight that was off of my chest when I realized I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to be done with high school, and I'm going to be done. And I didn't know what I wanted to do after that, hence me being in college for 2 years and then joining the Navy. But it was such a sense of accomplishment that, by the time I walked down the stage that ridiculously, incredibly hot summer day, I didn't feel anything but happy. And it was just the best feeling in the world. Moment number 4 in my educational journey, where I just felt, top 5 moments. So here's the thing. When I learned Chinese for the Navy down in Monterey, when I learned Mandarin Chinese, I actually did not leave the school with passing grades. And it wasn't because of lack of effort. It's just for whatever reason, my ability to pick up listening, spoken Chinese was not very good after a year and a half. I could speak incredibly. I could read like nobody's business, but when it came time for me to do the listening test, I failed it. And that crushed me. That crushed me and my teachers, and it put me into a kind of depression that I'd never understood before. And that was a terrible feeling. Even though it wasn't passing, it was good enough to get me out of the school, so they sent me to my next duty station to save money. And between the first time I took the test and the second time I took the test, because you have to take it annually to stay recertified, I had gone to China. I had started reading Chinese. I had started listening to Chinese news and TV and all that stuff. And I threw myself at the language. And part of that was pride, and part of it was I had some dick bosses at the time who just gave me tremendous amounts of shit for not passing. And the way they treated me was my value as a human being, basically this is how it came off to me at the time, was diminished because the one thing that a linguist is supposed to do, I failed at. And so, much to my surprise, when that annual re-up time came, I went and I took the test and I relaxed, because at that point I was like, whatever, I don't even care. And I sat down and I took the test. I went up to get the score, and the lady looks at me and she's like, good job. And I'm like, what do you mean? And so she hands me the little grade slip. And I not only passed, but I passed with one of the highest scores of the hundreds of people, the hundreds of linguists at my command. And the feeling that washed over me after that happened, after I realized that had happened, I cried so hard. It was amazing. I was able to keep my composure, and I just big old grin, like you just saw, oh my God, thank you so much. And I thanked the lady, and I went out to my car, and I was crying and laughing, as I often do when I'm awash with emotion. And I drove to work crying and laughing and trying to sing along to Local Gods by Everclear. I think it's Everclear, from the Romeo and Juliet soundtrack. And I couldn't sing along because I was laughing and crying and just such an emotional, happy wreck. And then I got to work, and my new boss at the time, she was also a linguist, unlike the previous bosses who gave me shit, and we don't dwell on the past, but she understood what it meant, and she was so excited for me, and she celebrated with me, and my work buddies who were other linguists, they celebrated with me, and just that feeling of vindication and of real worth cannot be beat. And then moment 5, gosh, that's a good question. I guess I would say the cop-out answer is graduating college. It has always been a goal of mine to graduate college, because my oldest brother, Kieran, he's the only other person in my family who's done so. And he was the inspiration for me to change my grades around in high school. He was always the person who I looked up to growing up. He was basically the family success story. And so when I graduated college, it was kind of bittersweet because my family couldn't be there, because I graduated in Hawaii, and it's not so cheap for people to come to Hawaii in the peak of tourism season. But I think that graduating from college with my bachelor's is the number 5 spot for happiest education moment. However, comma, I'm not done with my education, and I'm looking forward to seeing what my new moments for education, what my next top 5 are going to be. You know, I still have my GI Bill, I still have plans to go to school, I still have the desire to learn, and so, you know, let's find out. So, those were my top 5 educational moments. How about yours? What are some of your guys' top moments? Let me know in the comments below, or on Tumblr, or Twitter, or wherever the hell. Nobody ever sends me anything on Twitter. That's not true, I take that back. German dude, you send me stuff on Twitter all the time. And you too, Koojmouse. But everyone else usually doesn't. But yeah, let me know in the comments below, or on Tumblr, or wherever, because I'm curious. Okay, so that's all I got for now. Thanks for watching. Stay awesome, stay classy, and stay safe. I just mixed that up in my brain. And until next time, I love you, and I will talk to you later. Okay, bye.